Hey, today is Batman Day 2022, so I figured I'd give my pick for the top 5 best Batman movies from the worst to the best, in my own personal opinion. This is my list, my own personal opinion. It is by no means the definitive best list of all time. These are just the 5 films that I personally would want to rewatch the most and get the most enjoyment out of. What I said, let's get started. Coming in fifth place for me is going to be Teen Titans Go to the Movies. When this first was announced to be released in theaters in 2018, I was unbelievably skeptical. I thought the idea of releasing a Teen Titans Go theatrical movie was one of the most horrendous, stupid ideas that DC had ever come up with. Especially considering that the Teen Titans Go show is about as childish, goofy, irrelevant, and in many senses just harmful and nonsensical to the DC fandom. But lo and behold, the movie itself ended up being far more hilarious than it had any right to be. Shows that Teen Titans the Go versions of the Teen Titans could actually be a formidable team whenever they actually put their mind to it. The introduction of Slade, played brilliantly by Will Arnett, fantastic. We finally get to see a real deep dive into Robin and really what makes him tick and why he acts the way he does during the course of all his actions. And it actually kind of improves him a little bit in the seasons before and after this movie came out. Overall, it was way better than it had any right to be. It was fantastic. It was hilarious. Had a bunch of deep cuts like Nicolas Cage's Superman. Little like cool little posters, sprinkled throughout in the background where they would talk about like stuff like Detective Chimp and something. And the final battle at the very end of the movie was fantastic. Still, in my opinion, to this day, one of the top 5 best, like maybe top 3 best superhero battles we've ever gotten in any theatrical movie. Where you have Beast Boy turned into a massive dragon, Cyborg turned into like a robo cockpit, and Starfire and Beast Boy are combining dragon breath with energy beam cannons from Cyborg, fighting a giant mecha Slade. That's awesome. The music in this was fantastic as well. I would have no issue rewatching this at any point. Only reason it stays in number 5 is because, with it being based on Teen Titans Go, there are far too many fart, poop, and just stupid jokes that kind of bring the enjoyability down just a little bit. But overall, still a fantastic watch every time that I see. Coming in 4th place for me is going to be The Dark Knight. Now, this is probably going to be an extremely unpopular opinion because most people are probably going to be wanting to put The Dark Knight as number 1, largely just due to the fact of Heath Ledger as a Joker. Now, personally, I love Heath Ledger as Joker. I think he is one of the coolest, most fantastic Batman villains that we have gotten in a DC movie. And he is genuinely terrifying, chaotic, and just shows just how much of a threat and presence he can be in Gotham. With that said, though, while this is a good movie this is a good Batman movie, this is much more of a Joker movie, to where the Joker very much hijacks the movie and almost overshadows Batman in his own film. Which, no hate against Heath Ledger, but like when I go to a Batman movie, I want Batman, and Batman in this he gets overshadowed in his own film, and that's a little frustrating. Also, this is probably one of the most dark and depressing movies in the Dark Knight trilogy, where you're talking about Rachel's death, just the bleakness of Harvey Dent's situation. Alfred basically saying that him and his military unit burned down an entire village just to find somebody that was stealing jewels. Overall, there are just too many things in this movie to just hold it back for me, but it is still a fantastic watch and like very thrilling from start to finish. It has some fantastic visuals. Christian Bale is awesome as always. Heath Ledger as a Joker is and always will be iconic. I feel for anybody who tries to step into that role because it's going to be rough trying to live up to that. But yeah, overall, a fantastic movie. definitely worth checking out. Coming in third place for me is going to be Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero. Personally, for me, I think this film is way more enjoyable than it has any right to be. When you end up looking at Batman and Robin and how the character of Mr. Freeze was handled as poorly as he was in that movie, getting to see a redemption and getting to actually see a awesome Mr. Freeze story in this movie is absolutely fantastic. And you get to see a massive deep dive into him and really get to see what makes him tick. And it's just like, from start to finish, Mr. Freeze just has some of the best moments. He has an awesome redemption story at the very end. Overall, like, he is just as fantastic as he could possibly be. And it just makes for a very heartwarming, heartbreaking story that is just fantastic from start to finish. And it easily is a fantastic companion to the Batman animated series episode, Heart of Ice. Coming in second place for me is going to be the Lego Batman movie. Overall, for a movie that is based on a Lego version of Batman, this is way funnier than I was expecting it to be, and actually really heartfelt and touching on the relationship between Batman and the Joker, and really diving deep into Bruce's scarred psyche of like how he has to, really like struggle with, the concept of he has to let people into his life and has to let people help him. And you can see that it is very much a struggle for him doing this. But overall, like, in the end, like, it ends up working out fantastically. And it has probably one of the largest DC cast ever, like, where it has, like, it is just loaded top to bottom with all kinds of, DC villains, Batman villains. Pretty much every Batman suit that you could think of that was released up until 2017. You get some awesome stuff with the Batmobile and the Batwing. You get Michael Cera is probably one of the best theatrically released Robins that we've gotten in a long time, which, I mean, considering the competition, isn't that much of a big statement, but still, he owns the role of Robin. Will Arnett perfectly encapsulates a dark and brooding Batman, while also having a way to make him be relatable and very silly in a sense. And yeah, he's just an enjoyable character. Zach Galifianakis is fantastic as the Joker, and I love the way they kind of play on the concept of, like, this is a character who is very much, just kind of like just this tormented, just like he is obsessed with Batman and almost like in a sickening, like almost lover-like relationship to where he desperately needs Batman in his life. And yeah, overall, this is just a fantastic movie. Coming in first place for me, though, is going to be Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This right here is just, it's a fan's dream come true. Getting to see Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting in an animated format together is just fantastic. The fact that we have gotten to the point where we can now see Batman fighting the Shredder from the Ninja Turtles, and we can have Leonardo fighting Ra's al Ghul, and we can have the Turtle Man and Batmobile driving through the streets of Gotham towards Arkham Asylum to fight a bunch of Batman's iconic rogue gallery who have been transformed by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mutagen ooze to become these crazy, like, fan fiction nightmare creation beast, like Mr. Freeze becoming a polar bear, Joker becoming a cobra, Harley Quinn becoming a hyena. Like, overall, it just, top to bottom, it has so much fan fiction stuff in it, and it is just a blast watching it. I have so much fun, and yeah, so it comes in at number 1. Let me know in the comment section below, what are your top 5 favorite Batman movies? Later today, I'm going to be dropping my top 5 worst Batman movies. Stay tuned. Happy Batman Day.